All together, pause.
The Cardiff Singer of the World competition, supported by British Petroleum, drew 25 young singers from all over the world for a week of music making, which proved to be one of the highlights of the singing year. St David's Hall was packed every night of the competition to listen to the 25 singers, each giving a testing 20-minute programme of operatic highlights, concert works and lieder. It was a busy week for the distinguished international jury, and the winner, the popular Swedish mezzo, Katarina Karneus.
But it's not just about winning prizes, it's about learning from your colleagues. And with such a high standard among the singers this year, I think we all learned something. The bonus, for some of them, is to take part in masterclasses given by the distinguished singers on the jury. A few of us lucky members of the public get to eavesdrop. These are like gold dust.
And no wonder, with such starry masters to learn from. Giving her first televised masterclass, the great Australian diva, Dame Joan Sutherland.
These are called masterclasses. I hate the term, what can you do with someone in half an hour? You can only confuse them. Learning to sing is a very ongoing thing, and you have to be at people all the time.
The Romanian-born soprano Ileana COTRUBAS was one of the most touching of actresses.
What is this fashion? All the girls in pants. Are we singing Charlotte in pants, or it's Damnation de Faust? How can you?
Right. No,
you look
right.
beautiful. It's really gorgeous, but I've said it.
And with quite a different kind of experience, the Finnish baritone Tom KRAUSE.
I like to be able to speak with the competitors and try to give some advice. I wish I in my own youth could have had good advice from some older colleagues. It might have been very helpful for me.
So what advice will Ileana COTRUBAS give Australian soprano Claire Gormley?
Not too bad. Can you say in few very little phrases or propositions, they are smaller, what is it about in this aria?
This aria, Marzenka is lamenting. She thinks that her lover, her beloved, has sold her off, and she doesn't know that it's kind of convoluted, but she doesn't know that her beloved actually knows that she is the daughter of the father who she sold him to.
better not to do it. No, only...
That style of teaching and coaching for me suits me enormously, and I tend to thrive on that kind of bullying. I mean, bullying's not the right word, but you know, that style of, you know, going at it.
Line. because of the rhythm. It's legato. Laudamus te. And it's very happy because it's like a, it's not like a prayer, but again, we are talking to God. And I think it's more spiritual, even with this joy inside, yeah? Laudamus te, glorificamus te, adoramus te. Yes, it's bigger and it's a little bit further. All this arch, yeah, it's much bigger. Lovely, lovely voice. I like you very much.
Okay.
So, again, please, yeah, sing further, further, further.
One of the big things that I'm constantly reminded of when I work with someone like that is the level to which a singer must be specific about what they want to express and how. And that's one thing that I'm always being reminded that I forget to do. I tend to be, as a singer, a little too general sometimes in sort of an expressive wash over, instead of being a little bit more text-specific and a little bit more mindful of musical phrasing integral to the text.
Yes, lovely. Not there, yeah. The last where we arrived. No, this is flat. This is flat.
Down.
Yes. Piano. Yes. But it's not only the virtuosity of the it's also the pleasure of singing to do this. It's like you are writing the music now. Thank you, Mozart. The last phrase, please. Lovely. Thank you.
Dame Joan Sutherland is famous for her vocal fireworks, but when she began singing, her voice was very different.
First of all, I sang as a mezzo because my mother was a mezzo-soprano, and that was the music that was predominantly in the house. And fortunately, she did quite a bit of coloratura singing, so I had a few mezzo-coloratura things to sing. But when I started learning, I was told I was a dramatic soprano, and I thought, goody, now I can sing like Flagstad. But ultimately, Richard, my husband, heard me singing around the house and said, you know, what's all the top of that voice doing not being used? And I said, what do you mean the top of my voice? I can't sing above a C, you know, a high C. He said, rubbish, and proved to me that I could.
And how? Here's German soprano Anja Kamper.
watch the top, make sure that the pitch is there before you go for it. Prepare it. Don't just go for it and hope you get it. Huh? No, it's what you might call approximate.
Thank you.
Okay, it's that support that you should have. Well, it was there. It was a bit wide open mouthed, but at least the note was clean, yes. You've got to prepare the phrases and know where the phrases are going and know that you start the phrase so that you can get to the top without sharpening or flattening or wobbling or whatever.
Sometimes I don't remember these things. It's my temperament. I can't stop me sometimes. I know it's a problem sometimes because I have to control me.
You must hold on to that because we don't like off-key singing. I think it's most important for a singer to have somebody to keep an eye on them. We don't always sing the way we think ourselves we are singing. We don't hear ourselves the same as other people hear us. And to have a good musician, a person who perhaps understands singing, perhaps who is good with languages, someone to keep an eye on what you're doing, because people, you do get into bad habits. You can very easily develop bad habits. Continue then, and think. I mean, they're wonderful phrases, and you can sing them, but make sure that they're clean always. There's no point in singing coloratura if it's not clean. Very open. I mean, it's wonderful to drop the jaw. It's wonderful to have a relaxed jaw, because the bottom jaw is the only part that really moves. I mean, you can shape your lips, but this is the part that should be relaxed. And that's where it's as though you're putting the note there that way, instead of allowing it to work for you. You've got to put it there. I grant that you have to place the notes. I'm just saying that you must have it in your head before you get there.
Yes.
But do you have to sort of drop the mouth quite so much? It's not particularly pretty sometimes. I don't want you by the same count to be smiling and stretch your mouth this way, like I say, in a horizontal position, because your mouth is round. The cavity of your mouth is there to help you project the sound.
Yes.
And you need to open your mouth, but you have to drop down quite so much. Go back to where we started again.
Technique. What about the emotion?
Emotion. That's almost a dirty word. We have to dramatize the piece that we're singing, and we have to make the audience feel the emotion. But we mustn't get too emotional ourselves when we're singing, or we'll just cut out. We'll only force our sound. We'll forget what we're doing. We'll fall into very bad habits. And you have to control the emotions. You have to project emotion without becoming really emotionally involved yourself. You have to understand the emotions, and you have to project them through the music, the sound you make.
Baritones next, Tom KRAUSE and Davide Damiani.
The problem with masterclasses is that they are generally rather short. When I saw that he was going to sing the Champagne aria from Don Giovanni Fincan dal Vino, since it's Giovanni's role, I have sung an enormous amount, and I thought, well, I would probably be able to help him sing this aria better and show him the ropes, as it were. You don't want to upset the singer in his technique, but you can give good hints. If there are some blatant faults, if you know how it should be done, then you can give good advice.
decina deve aumentar, una decina deve aumentar, una decina deve aumentar, deve aumentar, deve aumentar, deve aumentar.
Get the sound out to the audience. Think of the words, keep the line going. That's been a common theme in this Cardiff Singer of the World competition, supported by British Petroleum.
Thank you. That's excellent. Very good. Very fine. I think one thing that one might do is try to get more line. You know, finca vino, calla la testa, urgan festa fa preparar. Thinking, because it tends to get choppy. It gets very easily gets choppy, this piece. So one have to really try to, and really try to think long phrases, always legato, 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 legato. It makes it much easier. Yes. And, okay, and then try to be very relaxed. You know, that you don't feel I have to make it happen. I have to think I am very free. I mean, when we think of Don Giovanni here, he's in a very up. And he gives instructions to his servant. He says, let's get. He's going to have an orgy, and he says. So he sends his servant out and says, if you find any good-looking chicks out in the streets, you know, bring them all in, and then we'll give them a lot of liquor, and we'll get them all drunk. And we'll have wild dancing, all different kinds, and I expect to make love to at least 10 women tonight. So, I mean, his mood is, you know, he's full of it, and it's sort of a Dionysian kind of outburst that he has, okay? Good. And so, but we must try not to force it. Finca da vino, calla la testa, but think rather, okay, it's all flowing through me, you know, so finca da vino, calla la testa, urgan festa fa preparar, try to be very loose and relaxed. That you'll find that that's much easier. And you don't have to think that you have to give absolutely maximum voice from the start. Just think, I'm very free in my throat, my tone is slender and high, and I just let it flow. It'll grow on its own. That one doesn't start forte, fortissimo. Yes. You know, take it easy and let it come. Right. I think that might be That's right. a good approach. At least I have found that it helps a lot, you know. Okay, let's try it once more. Yes. Well, one is always learning. I'm still learning, you know, and this is very often you hear sort of older singers say, I'm finally beginning to grasp it. I'm really knowing, unfortunately my voice is gone, but now I really know how to sing, you know. And so one has the feeling of, and so many times, I've had it in my life all the time, I'm constantly finding new things and saying, well, now I know it, but then half a year later I say, but yes, that was okay, but now I know, you see, and it goes like that, and I've heard it from many of my colleagues. So it seems to be an eternal kind of learning process, which is a blessing, of course. Give them your eyes, you know, that you don't, I mean, okay, you have Leporello here, perhaps, but you have to get it out. You know, you can't sing finca da vino, but you have finca da vino, calla la testa, ora festa fa preparar, and then you can change setro piazza, but you have to get it out. In this yeah, I mean, you have your audience, and you have the gallery, the balcon, whatever up there. So it has to go out. You're a bit too closed, you know. I understand. You know, so your face, they have to have your eyes sort of saying, yeah, I'm going to have them all. I'm going to, and we'll get them all drunk, and then, you know, sort of like that. Okay. More open. Yes. Yeah. Your face has to be out there, you know. But it's very good. I think it felt better now singing it also with the line. How did you feel? Yeah, better. Yeah. Lighter. Lighter, yeah. And so we mustn't ever try to, this easily gets kind of, you hack it, you know. But you always think smooth line. It's okay. Like an aria. So just, like an aria. Yes, exactly. Yeah, just let it flow. And of course you have finca da vino, calla la testa, una festa fa preparar, setro in piazza, qualche ragazza, teca quella cerca menar, and then maybe a crescendo, teca quella cerca menar, cerca menar, cerca menar. Then comes something else. Senza cordoni della danzazia, chi minuetto, chi la folia, chi l'alemanna, farbala, tira da tira la da da da, tira da 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 da, tira da da dam pa da. It comes tim ta da dam pam tira da dam pam pa da da dam. Different textures also, you know. You have this very legato, ed io frattanto dall'altro canto con questa quella uomo re di alla balista. Yes.
if you
I
can
have to
try
play.
to
I have to play.
play. Be very playful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very free, very playful, very full of yourself and your incredible virility. You know, 10 women per night. Nothing for me. You know. I do it all the time.
Finca dal vino calda la testa, una gran festa fa preparar. Se trovi piazza qualche ragazza, dico con quella cerca menar. Dico con quella cerca menar, cerca menar, cerca menar. Senza cordella adesso sia, chi il minuetto, chi la follia, chi le manna a fare ballar. Qui il minuetto fare ballar, qui la follia fare ballar, qui la manna a fare ballar. Ed io frattanto dall'altro canto, con questa e quella vuoi amoreggiar, vuoi amoreggiar, vuoi amoreggiar. Alla lista domattina d'una decina deve mentar. Alla lista d'una decina deve mentar. Se trovi piazza qualche ragazza, dico che quella cerca me do. Alla lista domattina d'una decina deve mentar. Senza che adesso sia il minuetto, chi la follia, chi la manda a fare ballare. Alla lista domattina d'una decina deve mentar. Una decina deve aumentar. Una decina deve aumentar. Deve aumentar, deve aumentar. Deve aumentar.
The last note is too short.
Devi aumentar.
Isn't it a quarter or something?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a quarter. Yeah, I mean it's all.
Tar. Yes,
Tar,
more,
yeah.
more.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's like you don't quite. You go into expression before you actually finish singing. You have to. Devi aumentar.
Yeah.
But devi aumentar, it's too little, because that's the last thing you tell them. You know, or you tell Leporello, but really the audience. Devi aumentar. You hear me? You know. And this, I'm going to have you. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like that. Okay, very good, lovely.
Good advice for Davide Damiani from Italy. Well, you can't do it without immense technical control, and that starts with the breath.
For me, the voice sits on the breath, and the singer has to control that breath and project the sound without allowing great gulps of breath to be dispersed into the air along with the sound. And one really has to think of an upright body to breathe, to feel as though the breath is coming almost from the abdomen, certainly from the lower part of the chest. The lungs receive a good full quantity of air, not over full, but they are well inflated, and then that lovely erect position is supported and acts as a drum of compressed air on which the voice sits, and the sound is projected through the cavities of the mouth and the resonators of the mask, of the face. I think there should be no feeling of strain anywhere other than, or certainly not strain, tension, shall we say, except this support of the breath and the actual singing on the breath and projecting that wonderful sound. You hope it's a wonderful sound.
And that's certainly what the student from Wales was hoping.
The masterclasses were difficult, knowing that you're standing in front of one of the most famous singers that have ever walked the planet, and that is quite daunting in itself.
I think that perhaps with the recitative, it seems very bright. It doesn't seem dejected enough as far as interpretation is concerned. And I do find that you seem to need to cover the sound more, it gets a little bit strident. I mean, she really is completely dejected, and the recitative sounds too bright. If you can give it a more morbidezza, a more morbid quality, I think that would help with setting up the aria. And when you got to the middle section, the quality of the sound was much warmer. It seems to me that the sound is a little cold. It needs more warmth to it. I know it's Handel, but it doesn't have to be, you know, sung like a virgin. It should have that warmth and impetus from inside. How do you breathe? How do you think you breathe?
By expanding the ribs and trying to have...
When you say expanding the ribs, how do you breathe? How deeply do you breathe?
Well, just by trying to expand that way and that way with your ribs, and then trying to support the breath there.
How low down do you feel the support?
Probably not low enough.
Well, you know, it's really a bit like well, I don't know what you actually call them, the things that restrain a tarpaulin or a tent, you know, as though you've got tent pegs in the ground and you've got ropes coming down to those pegs. And you should feel like that. You should feel that sort of tension in your pelvis when you breathe. You don't have to take more breath than you can manage, but you have to take that breath. And when you say you extend the ribs, yes, your ribs will extend because that's the way it is. If you put air into your lungs, the ribs extend. And your breath is like a plinth on which your voice sings, and you only use the minimal amount of breath to pronounce the words, and you use the cavity of your mouth to project the sound, and the resonators in your facial makeup. You shouldn't think about larynxes and false chords and pharynxes and anything else. I really do feel that, and I do feel that there's far too much physiology talked in voice production. Can you go back to the same place again?
It's been possibly the worst week of all our lives. The whole business is stressful, but there is something about the sort of spotlight of this week that puts you under the most enormous stress. I'm sure 2 weeks down the road, when we can all really relax, we will realise the very, very big benefits of all this.
There are lots of little quirks and goodies, you know.
Right.
Who knows the words after all? I mean, it's much easier to sing that way. I suppose I shouldn't deface the Handelian line in such a way, but I think a lot of people do.
I think the things that she wanted to do with me could not be dealt with in 5 minutes. They were things that needed far more time, but you could still have a lot out of it.
But that was really better. That was much more in line and a much nicer sound, dear. Do you know what you did? Can you repeat it? No, really, it's you know, you've got a lovely voice, Eldred, but you need that warmth to it. We don't always want to hear the bright sound. You want that warmth. I was always criticised for my mushy diction, but I'm sorry. I did, I think, have a reasonably round sound, and it got me a long way.
That's something to think about for Eldrith Cunnin-Jones from Wales. The winner of the Cardiff Singer of the World competition, Katerina Carneas, gets to take away the trophy, and she's launched on a big international career. But what about all the others who took part?
24 of them will leave very disappointed, right? But if they go there just to see it as an experience, a learning experience, even if they do badly, they will then get feedback. They could get very valuable feedback from some very accomplished colleague, older colleague, who will point out mistakes and errors and say, don't do this, look into this, change your teacher, perhaps, I don't know, etc. That could be extremely valuable. However, if they leave in anger and never get the feedback, and then it could be very negative and destructive.
Danish bass Stephen Milling.
Hard sometimes to get a feeling for how the body should work, but I've been singing for pretty much 40 years, you know, and I've learned very often the hard way what works and what doesn't, and so it's important also. I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's very nice to teach, is that one is able then to pass on what one has learned. And I wish very often I would be able to go back into my own life, you know, and say, for sort of 35 years ago when I was so when I had my first important things, I said, now Tom, watch out, don't do this, you see, like this, but unfortunately I can't do it. But the next best thing is then to meet sort of young singers like myself, you know, and say, now, this is my experience.
I have the feeling when he says, you know, he says at a certain point in the rest, he says, ove son, quei doppio presso a finire.
He wakes up after this.
He's sort of like, before that, he's pretty, almost half asleep. He's kind of
Yes.
in a daydream, and that should be showed more clearly, I think. I mean, of course, it's much easier when you do it on stage and you sit at a table and you can lean back and you can sort of... This whole thing, he sees, and io l'arrivedo ancora, contemplar triste in volto. I think one could almost have eyes half closed, and she saw me with my white hair, you know.
Yeah.
This deep, he has to be very tired, very sad. I mean, he's been sitting there. These same thoughts, they probably go through his mind all the time. She doesn't love me. She can't love me. I'm old, but I love her. I want her. And she's never loved me. She's never going to love me. This thing is probably, you know, it's a thing that's going on and on and on and on. And this we have to feel as tired and as sad. And if it's possible to get the beginning even softer, is it possible? I mean, it's a question, we have to know our limits. We can't go under a certain limit, which has to be on the support. We have to have the whole space in our voice.
Yeah.
But see if you could possibly get it softer. And then you have,
Ove son, you know, quei doppio presso a finir,
He sees the light, he sees the candles.
Yes.
He becomes aware of all his surroundings. He's very surprised.
Yes.
My God, the night has passed, my candles have burned down. Look, there's light at yonder gate or whatever, I don't know. You know, so that it has to be a complete change in you there.
Yeah.
So you come at this dreamy stage, you say, where am I?
You mean more voice or?
No, it's in your mind.
Yes.
Let's try that.
Okay.
I thought I had nothing to say. But very much space. Excuse me. We must not get small. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem.
Yes.
How soft can we sing that we really have our...
Yes.
We have to be open, all the way down here. You know, so you might, if we start thinking small.
Yes.
Yeah, so you really have to feel here, you know, your strength, your whole space. You're sort of like a pyramid, you know.
Yeah.
And here the bass sort of goes. Particularly the piani need a lot of support.
Yes.
Okay, so that really has to be... Okay, try again. But the tone was nice. I like the lightness of it, you know.
Yes.
I think it has a lot of space. You need all your space that you can get. And then... We work very hard here, relax here, and let the tone roll in the head.
Easy.
It's easy peasy, yeah. Yeah, don't double the M. For one, there is only one M.
Yes.
Yeah, there is only one M. So I mean,
prepare
if you, it'll close you up.
Yes.
So you have to just be open and follow. It's sort of like stretching a rubber band, you know. And then I would try to think of something else. It has to be where the words repeat an intensification of the emotion, perhaps, or something.
Yes.
And always that anguish. Of course, now we're working technically, so it's hard to keep it. But on the other hand, the anguish and the pain give a good support, you know.
Yes.
I think, oh God. You have to feel the emotion very much in your body. You have to get it. She doesn't love me, and it hurts. When you're really sad and really unhappy, it hurts in your body, actually.
Yes.
And that's this pain that he carries. It has to be felt. And if you feel it sort of, oh, it hurts, this kind of thing, might be quite helpful. So try that. But we're on a good path, I think.
So Tom KRAUSE, clearly pleased with progress so far. Ileana COTRUBAS worked next with the mezzo from Israel, Hadar Halevi.
For me, what is very important to watch on the young singers, how their way of expression and how serious are they know the passion for the métier. You have to have this passion and this love. And I think singing, either you are born with it, or no one can give it to you, or there are no teachers that they can teach you how to sing. They could adjust just little things or give you some ideas there. But I think with the personality and with the quality of the voice, you have to be born. This is my opinion. Je devrais. Better. Yes. Tiam, di da, da. No. It's a little bit faster, yeah? And again, now you are reading the letter, but you already read the letter, and you don't need to look through. Maybe you start. This is the voice of Werther. Je vous écris. Don't put so much feeling in it, because it's already in the line, yeah. And it's heavy because he has written when it's snow drowsing outside. And je vous écris de ma petite chambre, un ciel gris et lourd de décembre pèse sur moi comme un linceul, et je suis seule. And he's alone and you are alone. You are with your husband, which you don't love, but it was a promise to your mama to marry this Alberis, I think it's called. Yeah, but the passion she has, this woman, she's not a very exteriorized person. I mean, she doesn't blow it out only in the end, yeah, with the Werther, but then when she's alone, she can't keep it so much. Because you have then Dieu. Oh, what a part is this one. Yeah. Ti da da. Do it a little bit faster for her.
If somebody comes with such an energy, I just play at the same level. And if she wants to work hard, I work hard, because this is what I came from. I like people like that use all the artistic and energies that they have inside and not just the vocal thing. Because part of our performances on stage is that.
The beginning after the introduction, yeah, da di da di da di ba da ba di. You don't start, so it's from inner. It's Werther. You already written you have read the letters, yeah, and it's a moment of silence. Let us say it's not silence, but you are not singing in this moment. It's too strong. Don't keep the hands like this, because you kill your sostegno. Okay. If you say it's too strong, this, yeah, it's your interpretation, yes, or you have some stomach. What you are doing with the voice, and the biggest impact on you can bring on the audience. Somebody you have to take the audience, the public, with you in your. You have to have this power to take them with you in your world of imagination and the beauty of emotion, and this is very important. Qui m'aurait dit la place que dans mon cœur il occupe. It's more legato. Qui m'aurait dit la place qu'il occupe aujourd'hui dans mon cœur. It's together, yeah? Qui m'aurait dit la place. No, portamento. Place does mean place, yeah? It's not a word where we could put a portamento. You have to understand, portamento is a very difficult matter. You have to understand the melodic line, you have to see the situation and the word, yeah? If we will say about amor, for example, amor is all right, but other things as well. But place, it's place. Has nothing to. No, don't laugh because it's true. No, I had a fantastic teacher in Romania, and he was really very, very good for portamenti. And please don't listen so much to records and to everyone is doing so. This is not. It's not musical. It's not cultured.
I didn't agree with everything. I worked very hard to make my own interpretation, and I still think it's good for me, and it's much better for me. What she thinks about the interpretation of exactly this aria that I made, it's her own choice, which each artist brings himself.
Je les relis sans cesse. Okay. She's young, she's not my age. Come on. Yeah? C'est le tra. But you say two different things with the same expression. Avec quel charme? What does mean charme? Avec quel charme? And then tristesse. Yeah, but not avec quel charme et quelle tristesse. It's too much. Yeah. Avec quel charme, young. Avec quel charme. Beautiful sound. Mais aussi que la tristesse, je devrais le détruire. The sound is a little bit tight. Je devrais le détruire. Let the sound out. Je devrais le détruire. Je ne puis. No, it's soundless. Je devrais le détruire. Je ne puis. It's enough? Yes, it's enough. Yes, they will hear you. Yes, they will hear you. If you. Okay. Je devrais le détruire. Je ne puis. If you are, before you are singing the aria or every song, if you all of you declamate, how do you say it in English? Speak, yeah, the text, you will get much easier to the right expression than doing the first time with the music, yeah? If you are walking home and because it's this, she's doing this. Ces lettres, ah, je les relis sans cesse, avec quel charme, mais aussi quelle tristesse, je devrais les détruire. Je ne puis, it's already down everything, I think, because otherwise it's too tense. Je devrais les détruire. Je ne puis, no, je devrais les détruire. I can't. Okay. You agree or not? You have to agree because I'm right.